What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Totally Inspired with me, your girl Siwa Dube. If you're new to this channel, thank you for stopping by, and please don't go away. Make sure you watch this video until the end. Also, make sure you subscribe, comment, like, and share. And to the regular subscribers and the regular followers of Totally Inspired, thank you so much. Your support means a lot. And I do hope you have subscribed. I see there are people that are watching but have not yet subscribed. So do make sure that you hit the subscribe button and become a member of the family. Also remember to hit the notification bell so that each time I upload something new, you do not miss out. So I'm sure you can see from today's title, we're talking about things to avoid when you are handing in your resignation or when you are in a phase where you know you want to move on from your current employer to the next job. So I just want to share some tips on some of the things that you must avoid and not do when you are moving on to your next challenge. So changing jobs can be really a stressful time. Much as it's exciting to move on to a new role, a new job, a new company, it can be a really emotionally taxing time because you'll be moving from one employer to the next and you don't know what to expect in the next company. Well, amongst the things that you need to keep in mind is that this is a small world. People know people. And it's important that when you leave a company, you leave so on good terms. The most important thing to remember is that when you leave a company, you will need a reference. So it's important how you say your goodbyes, the manner in which you carry yourself in that period when you are serving your notice. Who knows, a few years down the line, you will need a reference from that same company. And it's important that you give a good impression even on the last days of your serving notice. So that's point number one, something to take note of. You give it your all until the end. Number two, and I know this may be a bit controversial, but I'm one person that does not believe in counter offers. So for me, counter offers are a no-no. If a company gives you a counter offer, it says a lot about you if you take it, and it says a lot about the company. What does it say about you, you might ask? So here is why I would personally not take a counter offer. The decision to leave a company is not a small one, especially if you're somebody that is serious about your career. There are a lot of factors that make somebody opt to take a new job. And if you present yourself as somebody who will be enticed by money to be in a position, well, it says a lot about you. Forget the values, forget the company culture, forget the job fulfillment, forget your career development plans and your future career plans. It says this person simply wants money and they don't have a broader view as to why they come to work daily, as to why they are in a career. So if I were you and I was given a counter offer, I would certainly not take it. And another thing, a counter offer suggests that your company has been paying you less than you were supposed to be earning. A job is more than just the money. There are so many things that should make a person decide to stay in a job or stay in a company, and money is not the only thing. Therefore, if you are offered a counter offer after you said you want to resign from a company, my personal advice is don't take it. You have decided you want to leave. And another thing, when you take a counter offer, the relationship and the working dynamics will never be the same because your line manager already knows that you are in the company for the money, but maybe the other important elements of the role you play in the company really don't matter to you. It also says that you are not an engaged person. And what it also means is that a company can have a bad environment. Your boss can treat you anyhow. The culture may be terrible. As long as you get paid, you are happy, which is actually not the case. You may be in a miserable job, but getting paid away, and that says so much about your own values as a person and how you want to be treated. So for me, a counter offer is a no-no. Getting a new job is an exciting time for anybody. You know you're going to be in a new environment, new company, and in most cases, you're probably moving into a bigger role and a wider responsibility. However, no matter how much you trust your co-workers, make sure that when you make that decision to resign, you inform your boss first. By informing your boss first, you are allowing them the time to decide how they'll filter down the news to the rest of the team and to the rest of the organization. Another disadvantage about not informing your boss first is that if they find out before you tell them, it really might strain relations between you and your boss until the time you leave the company. The best thing is to make sure that the first person that gets to know about your plan to resign is your line manager. Another mistake to avoid is to give your boss or your employer short notice. The standard notice period for most roles is 1 month. However, the more senior roles may attract a longer notice period. This gives your employer enough time to review responsibilities and also make sure that they put the necessary steps in place to find your replacement. So giving your employer enough notice period is probably one of the best things that you can do for yourself so that you're not burning bridges, you're allowing the employer enough time to find a replacement, and it just shows how professional you are, and you actually allow enough time for handover if there's that opportunity to hand over to the person that will replace you, or at least hand over to whoever is in your team that will fill the gap after you have gone. Another thing to avoid when you've resigned is to leave without saying goodbye. Again, these kind of behaviors say a lot about you and reflect a great deal on your level of professionalism. So when you have decided that you're leaving the organization on your last day, make sure that you drop an email to everybody that was in your network within the organization, people that were in your team, people that you collaborated with, and people that you related to on projects. And of course, don't forget your line manager. In that email, make sure it's a positive email. Don't be negative. Rather focus on the positive points. If there are people that you want to single out and mention by name that have helped you to grow, by all means, do mention them in that email. And also just talk about how you've grown in the company. Talk about the company culture, talk about the relationships that you've built, and of course, talk about the way that you've been able to grow as a professional in the area of work that you're in. That speaks volumes about the type of person that you are. You don't want to burn bridges. You want to come across as grateful and appreciative. If there are any issues that you're concerned about during your time at that company, there's a time and place where you can express those views. And some companies actually have exit interviews. Use that time to give the company constructive feedback about some of the experiences which you think could have been different. And the way that you phrase your feedback is very important. Don't talk about negative things, but rather talk about areas of improvement. Don't talk about things that you hate. Talk about the challenges that you faced. It says a lot about you as a professional person. And the way that you word your constructive feedback will actually leave a mark which says that you're a professional person and you have not burnt your bridges. Should an opportunity arise where they actually want you to come back at a senior level, it makes it a lot easier for the company to think about you and call you back. Yes, if you are a good and professional employee, employers are more than happy to have you come back in a senior role. They take it you have gone to the next company to gain more experience. If the company is one that takes succession planning seriously, they'll note you and probably want to have you to come back and take your boss's role after a couple of years of experience wherever you'll be going. So make sure that you do not burn your bridges, because companies do actually ask people to come back at times when you have left a good impression and a lasting memory on them. They'll ask you to come back for a more senior role as part of their succession planning and as part of their talent mapping. Another thing to avoid is bad mouthing the company. It's so easy to think that, oh, you're leaving, and then you start saying all the negative things that will polarize the remaining team. The line manager or your boss will not like to have someone like that who is bad-mouthing the company. It also says a lot about you. In those last days, make sure you still maintain a positive attitude and you still uphold the company values, and make sure that you bring your all. You become a team player and you're not spreading negativity such as bad-mouthing the company and entering into office politics and polarizing your team. Make sure that on your last day, you are still that person that is encouraging team members and maintaining the values of the company. Whether it's out of politeness or nosiness, your colleagues are obviously going to ask you about the new company that you're going to work for. One thing you need to be careful about is to brag about the new company that you're going to work for. One thing that you need to avoid getting into the details of is going on and on about the perks that you're going to be getting, because it might sound like you're criticizing the current company. Be modest about this opportunity. If colleagues continue to dig for more information, just be polite and maintain that attitude to say you're grateful for the new opportunity and that you're looking forward to growing. Do avoid bragging by all means. I hope you have enjoyed this session and that you have found some key nuggets and how you can handle a period of resignation if you're transitioning between your company and your next opportunity. Well, thank you once again for watching. I hope you subscribe, comment, like, and share. Until next time, do keep inspiring.